Oh, I gotta get the Ron Paul folks on the camera. Most important. Ron Paul? Anybody?
Sorry?
Can I get an endorsement for Ron Paul?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Ron Paul.
Nice.
He's gonna be our next president.
Hi. Give me an endorsement for Ron Paul.
Vote for Ron Paul.
Yay.
2012. So why do you think there hasn't been that much Fed language yet?
Dollar bills, y'all.
I think that people are differing and really had a voice. There's been a presence here.
Camera here?
Yep.
Yeah, open up a little bit more.
Look better on the other
Let's see it. Let's see. All right. Wonderful.
Okay, let me do this.
We got more? Here we go. What do we got? Gold is money. Yeah. Nice. Document all the fetters and all how we're peaceably commingling with Occupy. We're not here to bust on the parade.
So we should find your common ground. I know we agree with a lot of these people on foreign policy, the Federal Reserve, civil liberties. So we'll find that common ground and utilize it. We're going to disagree on a lot of things, but we have to get past that if we want to move forward on the issues that we do agree on.
Wonderful.
Well, I asked, I don't like to split people's faces.
Yeah, I just think that's like a huge problem.
I just want to make it clear I do not support the Tea Party at all.
Okay.
But I am a constitutionalist. And also, my opinions only represent me, not the whole group.
Cool.
Just want to make that out. I do want to note that I want to try to regain this black meaning. Because I don't support the Tea Party movement.
They would
have
Yes.
They've done so many things wrong. They've gotten his Ron Paul's for them in the Fed.
Yeah. If you want, check out more free information if you want to.
All right.
Half.com, man. Everything's cheap on here now.
You've been here this whole time?
Oh, you got a megaphone.
Oh, yeah.
Over an hour now.
I'm a supporter. I went to his
Argue about fractional reserve banking. It's not to talk about the fucking gold standard. It's only for the purpose of coalition building. So we are going to accept the fact that we do not agree on all of everything with one another. We're going to work on an agreement statement on the Fed in order to build a coalition of like-minded individuals on this issue in order to fight the bigger fight. And that's the purpose. So if everyone could respect that as part of the process, that'd be super.
What else want to add?
I think that's covers it.
Does anybody have any issue with that?
Just so anyone here understands the process, I mean, this is every evening they have a General Assembly. Frank spoke last night about our intentions.
Boston, and not to be divisive or to squabble about nuances that we don't agree upon.
Yep. Find the common ground.
Find the common ground.
So, one of the things I want to invite you all to do is, if you haven't stayed to tonight at 7, we have our General Assembly right here. And, you know, the tendency in the General Assembly is that it's heavily overly represented by sort of left-wing agendas and whatnot. We need balance. And, you know, your sensibilities could prove very helpful to the movement. So if you don't mind staying and participating in the General Assembly, you can influence this whole movement towards, you know, a more level-headed approach to everything that represents everyone. And that's really important. And so please make your voice heard at the General Assembly, and also realize that if anything is being voted upon in the General Assembly that you firmly disagree with, you say, I cannot agree to that, you can do something called using a block. What a block means is if you all agree to this, I can't be part of your movement, right? Yeah. And we had a soldier use that block a couple days ago because they were trying to ratify the declaration that came out of New York. And the soldier said, you know what, I don't agree with that declaration. And I feel like if you ratify that, it's going to alienate a whole bunch of people that could be part of this movement. So he used the block, and heroically, because, you know, everyone was all like, I want this declaration passed. But in the end, he was a hero because he stood his ground, his voice was heard, democracy was working within the General Assembly, and that's what's most important, that through these General Assemblies that we're actually finding the true common ground of the 99% that we all represent. We don't want this to be the 50%. You know, we want this to be the 99%, so we need all voices to come in. And right now we need more conservative voices at our General Assembly so that it is balanced, so that the full 99% can be What's that? Fiscally conservative. Okay, great. Yeah. Well, every voice. I mean, we really do need every voice heard. So, but if you feel like your opinions are in stark contrast to what's going on, good. But that's why we need you. You know, please represent and please be vocal. You know, and please own your place in that group. And if you want to use a block and say, look, you guys go that way, I can't join you. The whole group will get to see, okay, that's going to alienate people, and them seeing that is very productive. It's very helpful.
We'll just continue the outreach, please. Everybody stick around. You have to participate or at least be at the General Assembly. It's going to take a little while to get used to the process and everything. The more you come, the more comfortable you get with it, and you can get your name in the stack and get up and speak. And we will plan to do that. But like Frank said, we want to formulate something, the right wording that we can present to the group, which will be accepted overall. So this isn't ongoing. This is Occupy the Fed now. It's going to be continuing for I don't know how long, maybe till November 22nd or further on. But I think we will eventually. We'll have planned some large kind of rally, go over there and kind of. We'll see what we want to do, but it's going to be a great too.
At this point, I mean, actually, just the police response where looks like they've tripled or probably quadrupled their police presence just today. You know, knowing that we're basically going to come and antagonize the Fed. So I mean, just their presence here is enough that we know we just leave the Fed building alone. We can do what we have to do over here. We're really showing though that you know you go after like the Federal Reserve and stuff, and they'll pay attention. You know, they're going to get the extra security down. They're going to protect those guys.
Well, Garrett was there Friday night. Why don't you say what happened over there?
So we ran. I mean, we were marching, and we came up here, and the police were basically all behind us because every time they think we're going to go one way, we'd go the other way.
Beautiful. That's NFL style.
And then we ran on the Fed, and we started banging on the glass, and the police rushed in, got between us and the glass, and they just stood there, and they allowed us to demonstrate for quite a while, and then they started kind of whispering to each other, okay, we're going to have to break this up soon, and we kind of left before they did that.
There were a lot of videos.
Another thing you could do just to have your voice heard is just you know, put up a point of what is it called? A point of information, and then just say, you know what, that view I disagree with, and it doesn't represent the full 99%. And that's all you need to say, because we are devoted to the 99%. So if you know that view would remove 20% of the 99% or 50% of the 99% from the table, you can just sort of say, you know, just give that information, and I think that'll help people kind of recognize when their beliefs may not be shared by everyone.
What I'm finding, the only common ground really is transparency on the Fed. Everybody seems to agree with that.
Understanding that money is synonymous with control in our society, we are in solidarity with the Occupy movement against corporate corruption in government, against the privatization of profits and the socializations of costs. Therefore, no longer will we live under the schism of partisanship, and together we will break the convention that paints us as enemies, and to that end, set aside our differences and forge a partnership of mutual respect and understanding.
End the Fed! 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 Nice. I was waiting for that.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.